Welcome guys, today's our topic is pile foundation and our content is definition necessary, classification and important IS codes if you want to do career in pile foundation. So let's start. Pile foundation, it is a foundation which transmit load on deep seated hard surface through the use of vertical straight slender member within the loose soil surface is known as pile foundation. So necessity of the pile foundation is that subsoil is very weak and load are the heavy. Second, foundation is essential to transfer load through submerged soil, example bridge weirs. Third, to resist horizontal load and uplift pressure. Fourth, in case of dynamic loads or vibratory loads. Fifth, also, pile foundation is important in case of groundwater table is near to the ground surface. So, let's start classification based on the load transfer. First, end bearing pile, second, floating pile or friction pile, and third one is the combined pile. In this diagram, you can see that end bearing pile and friction pile. End bearing pile is the pile which load transfer to the hard strata through its water or soil from its bottom, and floating or friction pile is the pile that load transfer by the screen friction between the pile and soil, used when the hard strata does not exist at reasonable depth. And compound pile is the combination of end bearing and floating pile. Then another type one is the anchor pile or batter pile. Anchor pile is the pile used to provide anchorage against horizontal pull in sheet pile wall. Anchor pile, practical application of the anchor pile is to resist landsliding, and batter pile is to resist lateral force, inclined force. Those piles are provided with the designed inclination. Next is the Fender pile or dolphin pile. As this diagram indicates that the use of dolphin pile to protect the waterfront structure against the impact of ship. This pile always remains in the water. Their main function is to resist the impact only, not to transfer any load. So you can look that these piles are initially installed to resist the impact from the ships. These are not useful to transfer load to the ground surface or substrata. The next point is the classification based on the method of installation. Driven precast pile, second one is driven cast in situ pile, third one is bored pile, and fourth is auger pile. As this diagram indicates all the meaning. Driven pile is the pile are manufactured separately at casting yard or company and then transferred to the working site where piles are set exactly over required place using systems, and driving pile is done using separately designed hammers. In this driven pile, based important three types of hammer are useful, like steam hammer, single acting or double acting hammer, and manual hammer. So without going in deep, we will now look as a bored cast in situ piles. Piles are constructed by making a borehole of required diameter into the ground, and then reinforcement gauge is placed inside the borehole, followed by concreting. So guys, these are the useful codes used for the pile foundation designing. There are various codes for a number of types, like driven casting situ pile, bored pile, board precast pile, timber pile, under rimmed pile, load test on the pile, safety codes, glossary terms, specification, guide, pile boring equipment, and number of NDT pile also given guidelines.